This is The World Now, bringing you the latest stories from around the globe. The United Kingdom and Canada became the first G7 countries to formally recognize the State of Palestine, with Australia and Portugal also announcing their recognition. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced the UK's recognition of Palestinian statehood in a video statement on Sunday, calling it a moral responsibility aimed at reviving hope for peace for both the Palestinians and Israelis. The UK Foreign Office stated that this recognition is based on the 1967 borders. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese expressed similar sentiments, indicating that this recognition aligns with Australia's long-standing support for a two-state solution. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney also issued a statement emphasizing that the recognition aims to empower those who seek peaceful coexistence. And Portuguese Foreign Minister Paulo Rangel expressed a desire to strengthen the deep friendship between the Israeli people and the renewed relations with the Palestinian people. However, Israel has strongly condemned these recognitions. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described them as a huge reward for terrorism. Meanwhile, Hamas has welcomed the move, viewing it as validation of the Palestinian struggle, while the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas praised the recognition as a vital step toward lasting peace. Tensions are rising in the Netherlands just over a month ahead of its snap general election as police in The Hague violently clashed with anti-immigration protesters, demanding stricter asylum policies. On Saturday, a protest organized by a right-wing activist drew approximately 1,500 people to The Hague, with demonstrators expressing their dissatisfaction with current asylum policies and calling for tighter immigration control. Protesters threw rocks and bottles, blocked a highway, set a police car on fire, and also attempted to advance towards the Dutch Parliament complex. In response, authorities deployed tear gas and water cannons to disperse the crowd. 2 police officers were injured and around 30 individuals were arrested. Prime Minister Dick Schoof condemned the violence, describing the events as shocking and bizarre. Immigration remains a significant rallying point ahead of the October 29th elections, reflecting growing polarization and frustration in the country. In the Philippines, police and anti-corruption protesters clashed on the streets of the capital Manila on Sunday. Tens of thousands gathered near the presidential palace, demanding accountability for alleged corruption in flood control projects worth over $9.5 billion. Several people were arrested for throwing rocks, bottles, and even firebombs, and dozens of police officers were injured. Similar anti-corruption protests have recently emerged in other parts of Asia, including Nepal, where protests have been led by Gen Z activists. In Indonesia, protests focused on addressing corrupt elites, and in East Timor, citizens demanded transparent governance. In Paris, France, waiters and waitresses dressed in full work attire raced through the capital city on Sunday, carrying trays balanced with a cup of coffee, a croissant, and a glass of water. In the traditional cafe race, a 4-kilometer race revived last year after over a decade-long hiatus. The goal is to finish the race quickly without spilling anything. 1 drop of water or a slight tilt to the tray can result in time penalties. Organizers say the race is a tribute to cafe culture in Paris, meaning both as entertainment and as recognition of the demanding work undertaken by serving staff. 최지희, 아리랑뉴스.